What if Jesus just had a huge erection?
Yeah, morning wood. That's what I was thinking too. This is a pretty. That's what Liver King says. It's either primal or non-primal.
Primal.
Wait, how much of this guy's content have you watched, John?
I saw.
No.
Oh, I thought you were reading it. Okay, I thought you were reading it. Permit it.
By saying, before I was rich and anonymous, now I'm rich and not anonymous.
Sweet.
Primal.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Gaming, the one gaming news show that you should look for when you're lost. That's a terrible Last of Us reference. I'm Christian, aka Suck Sandwich. That's John, aka it's me, Jon B. And that's Courtney, aka it's me, Courtney 808. How are you both doing this wonderful Wednesday evening?
Wow. Do you have our Twitter handles right in front of you, or do you just have them memorized?
I got them memorized. I memorized a lot of useless information that I'll never need.
That's good. Of course.
Like your names.
Who are you?
Why are you?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
I was doing good. The green screen just decided to do a weird thing, though. Let me see if I can fix that for you guys. That was very, very strange. But in the meantime, while I do that, do you guys want to go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Nitro. Hi, Ronan. Hi, brother. Yes, this is exactly where you redeemed the Groupon.
The Groupon for a massage? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's Christian who gives it to you.
I got strong elbows.
And a strong left hand only today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his strong hand.
That is no, his other one's a strong hand. It's a chilly night in California, so no judgment here. What does your shirt say, Christian? Welcome to the hotel hell. Oh, that's scary.
It's from The Office. Hotel hell. Check-in time is now. Checkout time is never.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you work here? Do you work at the hotel hell? I
own it. I own it. No, he says, "Are you the owner?" And he goes, "No, I'm the manager." And he's like, "You don't even own the hotel in your own fantasy."
That's right. I'm the manager. Oh, we got a lot to talk about today, but we were chatting right before we went live about the new episode, the first episode of the premiere of The Last of Us on HBO. All three of us have watched it. Everyone in the chat, if you've watched it, sound off, say something exciting about how much you love the show. We're gonna get a little spoilery here for a second, I think, but we were talking about the scariest parts, and I'm gonna let Christian to talk about the hair in the mouth.
Yeah, man. So we were talking about the old lady, just the whole creepiness of her in the background, just like
yes,
with
that
her
was
mouth flying open. I always have to wonder too, like after seeing her being, a zombie or whatever you want to call it, I'm convinced that was probably somebody in makeup. But I always wonder where they get elderly people for roles like that, like where they have to be like lewd or crude or like scary.
Yeah,
because obviously that old lady's not, that wasn't a real old lady. She's not charging out of the front door like that, falling and not breaking a hip.
Are you sure? I mean, I bet you there are some people who have just been trying really hard to just get into and break out in Hollywood, and all they get are these roles that are like, hey, we need a creepy old lady to charge at some kid and her dad. And then this lady's like sitting there reading through all these different casting calls, and she's like, this is the one.
This is the one. I'm creepy.
I mean,
I've been waiting for.
That's probably a good niche if you're an old person, to be like somebody who's okay with like doing like old person nudity or like making blowjob jokes. That's probably like a category that not a lot of like elderly background actors are looking into.
Yeah, you have to remember they're actors. Like they're getting paid to do this. You know what I mean?
Wait, she wasn't really infected?
She wasn't really old.
She wasn't actually old. Haven't seen it myself, but I don't really plan on watching it yet, so I don't mind spoilers. All right, sounds good.
What? Nitro, why don't you want to watch it? It's
should
already the spoilers for the stories we're talking about here in a little bit. It's already HBO's second biggest premiere in 10 years.
Second
Was
biggest.
it the second?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, don't spoil the story, everybody. We
Okay.
have a meaty news story to get into here in a minute. But
Girthy.
yeah, what else?
How else?
What did you guys think about the rest of the show?
Man.
I liked how they tried to make it so that it was digestible for people who have never played the video game, while still keeping, like, they still kept some pretty crucial frame by frames to match exactly how the video game starts. So I think it was very well done. I think it was perfect.
I
that
knew
first opening, I thought it was perfect.
I knew it was coming, and it still got me. They did such a fucking good job, dude. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. This game, the entire time I was playing the game to begin with, I thought this would make a great fucking movie. Like, that's all I thought when I played that game to begin with. So the fact that it's become a limited series, because I think they confirmed it's only going to be 10 episodes long, and then once it's done, it's done. So the first season's the first game. And they did say that if it does well, they're going to greenlight a second season, but I can't imagine what they're going to do with another season unless actually make the second game. I don't know. But so the first season will completely cover the first game, and
Oh, I'm not ready.
yeah, well, I'm not ready, and I'm excited, and it looked good. I guess like they diverted away from like it being spores or something like that.
Yeah, they took the spores out so the characters wouldn't have to wear gas masks, and that's
Fair.
that's in my opinion that was fine because that's not really a huge plot point in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I mean they do put on gas masks to traverse some areas, but it's not like you couldn't just make the area scarier with more clickers or more infected.
Yeah.
You don't need the spores to make it spooky.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't need the spores for the story. The story is about the relationships that are being built and and surviving, right? And
Yes.
and do you guys watch like the after episode, like where the director talks about what they were thinking? I love the contrast between his daughter Sarah and Ellie. I loved
Yes.
that, and I loved how they described that, and really like the care that was really put into the story that was being told from the get-go. Something that I probably never would have even thought of looking at when playing the game to begin with. And man, when they talk about like you need to fall in love with the Sarah character quickly, they did such a good job. Like,
Oh yeah.
I knew it was coming. And I was like, I need her in this story. Like, I need her through this adventure. But
Nope.
fuck, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's a great point. They did really make you fall in love with her really quick, and they had a very big task ahead of themselves to kind of prep you for what is probably one of the most iconic and most heartbreaking openings to a video game
Ever. Yeah.
Yep.
And to get you to that place without dragging it out or going too fast was almost impossible. But I think the fact that I don't want to say they went shot for shot, but they added in some context, and then they went through all the important shots. You saw the barn burning from Sarah's point of view. You saw the people running from Sarah's point of view, just as it would be in the video game. But they added in the necessary context, like why was Tommy with Joel? And it's because in this universe for the TV show, Tommy he was in jail and he needed Joel to bail him out. Which, by the way, is another thing that I really like. It gives color to those characters because we didn't know why Tommy was with him. And in the show, he says, this guy got all up in this waitress's face, so I knocked him out. That really shows the kind of character that Tommy is. And then later in the show, you find out that he's part of the Fireflies. So it kind of makes sense. Tommy has a sense of right, and he's going to do what's right. Meanwhile, when they're leaving in Joel's truck, you see that he's a Desert Storm vet.
Yep.
So it makes sense that Joel's kind of like, he's stuck with Fedra. He's kind of the do as you're told kind of guy.
Follows orders.
Yeah, follows orders. I have a goal, and I'm gonna get to that goal. I'm not gonna let anything deter me. I'm not
Very
gonna
militant routine. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
And you have to assume that when you have that kind of mindset and you see an organization like Fedra who are really devoted to the survival of people, that when you see outsiders, you wonder, do the outsiders understand the gravity of the situation? Or should I trust the people who were once in government to rebuild everything? Because if you're in a situation like this, like, what would you do? You know what I mean? Like, would you follow suit? Would you say, like, everybody around me is listening to Fedra, and before this happened, we had a government and it makes sense to rebuild another government? Or would you join, like, the Fireflies, for example, and be, revolutionaries in a sense and say, no, like, we're not going to follow the status quo. We need to figure something out. We have to understand where this came from. Like,
Yeah. They're like, do you join the rebuilding of the government or the renegades?
exactly.
I appreciate that they also gave Joel a healthy skepticism of the government. You know, he wasn't the you know, he was still had his military mindset from
Sure.
the way he was, raised in the military, but obviously you see him dealing drugs and then beating the shit out of the guard. So he's got some skepticism on how these people are handling things for a good reason.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it just like I said, it just adds a lot more color and a lot more depth to the characters that I thought was really cool. Like they took all the good parts that we needed from the game and then they built around those in a way that I thought was really smart.
Yep.
I think they really,
liked it.
I think they really showed him as a damaged person, as well. You know, even before everything was getting started, you could tell, you know, he was a workaholic. He didn't really make time for his family life. Seemed like it was just him and his daughter, and his brother. And you know, he had his faults, but you can tell that he had a big heart. And then of course years have gone by. He still has that PTSD. He still has that shock of seeing, you know, his daughter die in front of him. And we see him get triggered literally right in front of our eyes when he realizes that he needs to protect somebody again. And he kind of just, his fight or flight kicks in, and and you can tell that he wants to do the right thing for the people that he believes are doing the right thing. And he did make this friend. Unfortunately, this guy was an addict. He was using him for his drugs, so he wasn't going to look the other way. In fact, he shook him down a bit. He's like, yeah, if I let you do this, like, you're giving me all your drugs and you're giving me anything that, you know, any profit you make, like your life is mine, basically. And Joel was very calm about it until he pointed his gun at Ellie, and that's when everything went out the window. And you can tell when that fight or flight comes in, he needs to stand up for what he feels is correct. And I really like that about his character.
Yeah, sorry, Courtney, go ahead.
No, I like that they were very good about including little nuance for each character to help set up the good groundwork and foundation of who these characters are. I mean, they tried to make sure they gave you enough to understand that there's gonna be growth of these characters throughout the entire season.
Right.
But I like that they didn't make these characters feel hollow.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because, I mean, for us, we know these characters because we played the video game. We know what they're like. So, but it's cool that they kept to that, but they also built for the people who have never played the game, and they want you to be invested in these characters. And like I like those little additions, especially like in the very beginning of the show when they have that that news show happening where they're discussing what happens with the spores
in the 60s, right? The flashback all the way to the 60s. I like that premise too. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. To help you set up, like, because people with every zombie show, everyone's always wondering, how does it happen? Why does it happen? This knocks that out really early about setting up what is exactly kind of led to this.
Almost. Yeah.
You guys are making some great points. I love having this discussion with you because I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about them kind of knocking out why this, what this is or why this happened. We don't know exactly why, but we know what it is.
Exactly.
It's not like in The Walking Dead where we're like, we have no idea where it came from.
Or why.
Or why.
Yeah.
Just is.
12 seasons later, they still didn't know. Yeah.
This might sound silly, but I didn't even realize you were right. Like his fight, I knew his fight or flight kicked in, but I didn't realize it was because he realized he needed to protect another little girl.
Yeah,
like I was thinking he's doing it to protect them, kind of as a group, and protect himself. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He's it hits that PTSD, and he's like, okay, I gotta do this. I can't let myself. I can't go through that again.
Yeah, that's why he like fully wails on him. Like he could have easily just he's trained enough. He could have quickly just incapacitated him, and then they move on.
Yeah,
but because gave him a new face,
or made him lose his. Yeah.
But yeah, Pedro Pascal is absolutely just crushing it as Joel, and I knew he would. This is the year of Pedro Pascal.
Oh,
I'm
daddy.
telling you. Courtney, have you seen the little TikTok from Entertainment Weekly?
Yes, when he's like, they called him, "How's it going, Daddy?" He's like, how you doing, Mama?" And I'm like,
Did you see the rest of it where
Yes.
he's reading a tweet and he's like,
Yes.
yeah, I am your slutty daddy. Oh
Yeah.
man. I like Pedro Pascal so much. You know, I saw that young man back in the day on that Game of Thrones show, and I was like,
Yep.
this guy's
And-
going places. You
and his
know,
eyeballs pushed out. Yep.
I mean, yeah, that was the sad part. But him,
Yes.
you know, when you're introduced to him and he's in a brothel with all these women,
yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, who's this guy? This guy's, and he's like bisexual too in that. I
Yep.
think.
He's
And-
just he fucks. That's all it is. That's all you get out of him is he's charismatic. He fucks. He has plenty of kids, but he cares about all of them. Yeah, he's awesome.
That's a good way to put it. Pedro Pascal fucks.
He fucks.
Yeah. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm calling it. People Magazine's sexiest man of the year is going to be Pedro Pascal this year. Everybody.
Sexiest man of the millennium.
Oh yes, he is ultimate daddy.
Yeah, he's got those big daddy vibes, but yeah, he's crushing it in the show. I was so worried about the scene where Sarah dies and how that was going to be portrayed and if you were going to get the same emotion out of it. Oh, and he twisted me up. And he just, I want to know how much of that was written and how much of that was sort of ad-libbed, because he says like, "Oh no, baby, baby, baby." It,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it felt
Yep.
so real. God damn it, John.
Wow.
The Dadalorian, but yeah, anything else?
Dadalorian. Oh my gosh.
It's just crazy. This man's going to be riding so high this year. You know, he's got The Last of Us, and then in March, right when that show ends, he's got The Mandalorian season 3. Like, two of the biggest things on the planet.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Dude, he's just, I'm so happy for him. This is, you know, somebody was like, I hope we see more. And I was like, oh, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Pedro Pascal. They're going to put him in everything. And I have zero complaints about that.
It's
He
like
doesn't win awards. I will fight somebody.
it's like a better version of having fuck. I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Anyways.
Geeked Out Ronan says, sitting there watching that scene with my own daughter, like I'm gutted. Yeah, dude, I can't even imagine having kids
And letting them
and-
watch that show.
no, and feeling, you know, what would happen if you know, that were my kid, or if I was in that position. I'd probably
Yeah.
just chuck my kid and be like, bye.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
He was the DEA agent in Narcos. Fuck.
I didn't watch Narcos.
Narcos is good. I should have kept with it. Hell yeah. He's
Probably
been
why
a-
you didn't know he was the DEA agent, because you didn't keep up with it.
I didn't. But he was there from the very first episode though.
He was also in Game of Thrones. Did you know that?
Yes. That's what I mostly remember him from before
Yeah, he's in
everything else.
and he's in The Mandalorian as well.
Did you know
Thank
that?
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. He's in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
No, that's Nicolas Cage.
Oh wow.
Sorry, John. You can't be right all the time. Ronan says she was in bed, but I almost did go wake her up and make sure that she was okay.
To make her watch
that's
it.
very sweet.
What?
Yep.
Look at
Yeah.
me grateful.
I mean, watching that show, and I mean, I'm a mom too, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, when they're driving in the truck past the other family that's asking for help,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I got my own kid with me. I'm trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. Do you stop and
No,
do you
you
stop and
keep
help
going.
other people, or do you just keep going? And I'm like, that's such a
He did the right
such
thing.
a shitty, gut wrenching feeling, because you would hope that if you were in the same situation, somebody would stop.
You have to wonder, was it karma that he didn't stop, that and his daughter was like, stop, they have a baby with them, and he's like,
Yep.
so do I. He's referring to his daughter, right?
Yeah.
And then she gets shot because, you know, there's a little bit of karma there, you know.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it karma. I don't know, because it feels like she would have got shot. I know what you're saying.
No,
but
I know
don't
that.
I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
if-
that truck was fucked. There was nothing that they can do with that truck as soon as they
Yeah.
I mean,
as soon as they got
plus
into
if
the
they
town.
picked up those people, there was no guarantee they would all fit in the cab. They would have probably threw somebody in the back.
They should
And
have
the way
all
that
gotten in
car-
the back.
Yeah.
That
Yep,
was my thinking. Get all of them can just get in the back. and then cover
And then if they
themselves
get in
with
the
a blanket.
back, and then when the truck crashes, they're dead anyway. So
So look, he really saved them. Maybe those people are okay. We never know. Maybe
We will
get
never know.
the Last of Us spinoff, and it's the the hitchhikers that didn't get picked up.
It's them going, help! And then a truck drives by and they're like, that motherfucker. And then the rest of the show is just following them,
Yeah.
getting picked up and getting a sweet.
Hey, remember that
job.
time we needed to get picked up and that fucking truck just drove by us? Fuck that guy. Your boy Nitro says he was also the antagonist in Wonder Woman 2. Yes, he was. He was one of the best parts about that.
Never watched it.
He was all.
Oh, sorry. He was also in oh god, the Spies. Taron Egerton.
Oh, the Kingsman.
Second one. Yes, the second one.
Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yes.
Yes, he was in that one. He played a cowboy.
Really?
He had a Western accent. He was part of the American
Howdy, y'all.
version of Kingsman.
He's all howdy,
Oh.
y'all.
He's
He was
got a little
sexy
bit
in
of
that,
that southern accent when he's doing Joel, which makes sense because they're in Texas.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
Texas.
Guitar is the spinoff, The Rest of Us.
Oh my god, I love that.
John, can we film this spinoff?
Yeah, but if it's talk limited, it's gonna be like a porno or something. If you think about it.
All right, your job is now to think of a porn title for that because I can't. But so we enjoyed it and we're excited for episode 2.
The Last of Cum.
Yes.
The what?
The Last of Cum. No.
It could be better.
The Breast of Us.
There you go.
There we go.
The,
That's the one.
the Sex of Us. Okay.
But we liked it. We're excited for episode 2 next week or this week.
I could hardly contain myself.
I know, dude. It ended and I was like,
More.
yeah. I was telling my friend, I was like, it's simultaneously like I wish it was one of those shows that we could binge, and then I also don't because I like the suspense that it creates, but also I just want to watch all of this right now. They should have given us like the first 2 episodes, and then I'd be
Yeah.
satiated. But
Yeah. Well, even the first episode was an hour and a half.
Mhm.
yeah, hour
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah.
I guess the 3rd episode is the next longest one at like 76 minutes or something, and then the rest of them
Dang.
are like 45 minutes long.
Oh, damn. I need
Your
at
boy's
least
got
an
a title for us, demonetized.
Fuck. All right.
All right. So, you guys ready to jump into some news then?
Yeah, let's talk about some
Yeah.
news.
News. Speaking of The Last of Us, as I mentioned, The Last of Us is HBO's second biggest premiere in 10 years, right behind House of the Dragon. Just a quick read from Deadline. The Last of Us drew a healthy number for HBO on Sunday night. The video game adaptation starring Daddy Pedro Pascal drew 4.7 million viewers across linear and HBO Max. It's marked the second largest debut after House of the Dragon since Boardwalk Empire launched in 2010. The Game of Thrones spinoff made history last year by premiering with a 9.986 million viewers across linear and HBO Max. That's a lot of people. I didn't know that many people watched that show.
Which one?
House of the Dragon. Did you watch it? Did you guys watch House of the Dragon?
Yes, I did.
But this is premiere, right? They're talking about premiere episode. And I think the only reason why I think it is because people wanted more Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was over and then it had been gone for a while. And like this was like the big return to Game of Thrones. Because I did watch House of the Dragons.
Yeah.
And I watched quite a few episodes, got really fucking confused, and then I just fell off. They need their vocabulary. They speak in riddles. Everybody looks the same. It's dark all the time.
John's like, who's fucking who?
They're all fucking each other. There's every plot line has to do with incest. It's like I can't keep up. Their family tree looks like a goddamn stick. I don't know. So
It's just one line across.
yeah.
But yeah, that's great news. I'm really happy. I knew that this was going to be a huge boon for HBO.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And although I'm not happy with some of the stuff that Warner Brothers, their parent company has done recently in terms of canceling stuff, I'm excited for them to have a success like this on their hands because it just means it proves that there is room out there for video game content adapted well
Well.
and done right.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
know?
we did it, gamers.
Finally.
Between this and Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, can crushing it, dude.
I wish Capcom would look at this and be like, maybe we should fucking try. You know what I mean? Enough with the fucking Resident Evil and the Monster Hunter. Like, try.
I saw a Simpsons meme, and it was I think it was like one of the little kid bullies, and then the bully's dad, and the dad was slapping the bully, and over the dad it said The Last of Us, and over the kid it said Capcom's or Netflix's Resident Evil.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah,
I was like, it's true.
I mean, we're gonna have an influx of, you know, video game adapted TV shows and movies coming. There's a Twisted Metal show coming. There's a
Wow.
Gran Turismo movie coming. I don't particularly expect any of those to be that good, but I hope this makes companies like Capcom and Konami take a look and say, hey, we have something on our hands. It could be good. It can be more than just a game, and we don't just have to be shilling out our content for a quick buck.
Do you think that the next big rated, critically approved movie based on a video game franchise, do you think it's going to be a movie, or do you think it's going to be another TV show? Because I think The Last of Us is probably the highest rated. I think it's like certified fresh, 96%, not only from critics but also from viewers. Like, that's the highest of any video game property in existence. Do you think the next one to go up against The Last of Us is going to be a movie, or do you think it's going to have to be another made for TV
Series.
property? Yeah, like a series.
I think
Because
it's probably going to be a movie.
I have
because-
high hopes for Mario.
Yeah, I have high hopes for Mario, but I kind of put that in a different category. You know what I mean?
Because it's for
if-
kids, or because
Because it's animated.
Mm.
I mean, I know it's a video game adaptation,
Sure.
but it's a little bit easier to adapt a video game to an animated feature rather than, you know,
A live-
adapt a video game to a live action.
sure.
So like, I don't want to discount it because I have high hopes for it, but I think it's going to be a movie. I mean, your boy Nitro
Yeah, I see
mentioned
that.
that there's going to be a Ghost of Tsushima movie, which they did confirm. I think that could be really good. It really
That'd be
just
dope.
depends.
Mhm.
I don't know the release order of what's coming out, but I don't think anything on the horizon really has the potential to be the next great thing. So I think it's going to be something that we probably don't know about yet, or that's way off. Like, there's going to be a God of War series. If they do that right, that could be very, very good.
Mhm.
And again, like the Ghost of Tsushima movie, but I'm not sure. What about you guys?
I really think that because we've already had video game movies adapted, like there's been so many iterations of Tomb Raider, and I just really think that the way to go isn't necessarily movies. I think right now this is the era of series and streaming and shows, and I think with a lot of these games they would probably be better consumed and digested as a limited series or as a TV show than it would be as a movie, because
I agree.
it's too hard to try to contain so many different video games and stories into 2 hours of a movie. I think it's just it's waste. It really you lessen the value of the story and the acting by trying to appease the people who have played the video games by including important things and trying to stick to the things, but still trying to rush through and get through the story and produce a good action movie in 2 hours. I mean, just yeah.
I think limited series is the way to go because you have a starting point and you have an ending point. And you
Yep.
know that when you get to the end, it's over. Whereas if you're creating a movie, you're banking on the idea that it does so well that you get sequels. And if you don't get those sequels, you're left with like, okay, I guess we had one, you know?
Yeah.
What could have
haphazard
been?
movie.
What, you know, like where did these characters leave off? Like, I don't know if another Uncharted movie is coming out,
Yep.
but
I was just about to say.
but if it is, you know, what do they do next? And if it's not, like, well, what happened to those characters, you know?
Yep.
So I like the episodic format, and I like knowing that it's only going to be a mini series and it's only gonna be one season. I like knowing those things. I think that's a really good way of doing it, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I want my World of Warcraft
Oh, yes.
Netflix show.
I do too.
There's so many DLCs.
No, don't give them to Netflix.
Each DLC be a season.
Don't give them to Netflix. Netflix is where a TV show goes to die. You know what I mean? If you don't want another season, don't give it to Netflix.
Okay. HBO Max.
Yeah.
Hit up. I want World of Warcraft, please.
Yeah.
Ronnie in the chat says no Uncharted 2 announced as of now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but I was reading something, and interestingly enough, Uncharted was like one of the best-selling like movies of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the 10th best-selling movie of the year, which I was really surprised, like for home video and digital release.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to imagine that we'll probably get a sequel from that. I think it did pretty well. I think you guys make great points because I think for something like The Last of Us or God of War, my plushies keep falling. Those Jesus Christ. The episodic format works better, but I think even like, John and I, we both saw the Sonic the Hedgehog both movies together.
Sure.
And those worked great as movies. I think you can do those as movies. They're small contained stories because you're not telling a direct story. You're telling you're making a movie with those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what I liked about Uncharted, where I would love for them to adapt the stories directly, but I don't think they need to. And I liked the movie because it was fun and they kind of played with some of the things that we know about the characters and we know about the universe. And I would be happy to see another just, Uncharted action flick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. All right.
So,
what's
let's
next
move
on the docket?
We got an Xbox and Bethesda dev showcase announced for next week, guys. So I got this from Engadget. An Xbox and Bethesda showcase is set for January 25th. Expect to see Redfall, Forza Motorsport, and others, but Starfield is going to get its own showcase later. The first major gaming showcase of the year is on the calendar. Xbox and Bethesda are hosting an event on January 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, shoot. That's next week already.
Yeah, isn't that fucking wild? Dead Space remake comes out next week, baby. I'm so hyped.
I'm excited for that too. Wait, hold on. This what's next week?
Yeah, Xbox and Bethesda Developer Direct.
January 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a Wednesday.
So we'll tune in that evening for all the news and announcements.
Yeah, I think that's a good we'll go over all the announcements next evening. Wednesday evening.
This is going to be a little more focused, though. They're calling it a developer direct. It's going to be presented by creatives from various studios, and it's going to center on major features, gameplay, and more details on the titles that are coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Turn 10 Studios will provide more details on Forza Motorsport. There's going to be information on Minecraft Legends. There's going to be information on Redfall. And those are all the things that have been announced specifically.
Mm-hmm.
They did not... and an update for Elder Scrolls Online. And like I said, they said Starfield is going to get its own little developer direct. So what do... knowing those things, what do you guys want to see? What do you think we need to see? Xbox has kind of had a tough time these last few months. They haven't really had any games to put out, and they've been really sparse on details, release dates, things like that.
Well, this isn't an exclusive Bethesda event, right? It could be anything Xbox and Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm hoping for some Fable news because
that would be awesome.
We got a title and that was it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be a little smaller though, so I'm not putting all my eggs into the Fable basket.
Yeah.
My guess is they're going to spend 40 minutes on Forza Motorsport, and then we're going to get like 3 seconds of everything else.
You said, what do we hope?
That's what they do.
Yeah. But you said, what do we hope?
True.
Gosh,
what do you think is going to happen? Well, there you go.
Well, I think I'm going to be disappointed then.
I think I'm just going to be heartbroken. Just going to shit on my dreams.
Well, that's the best part about tuning in to Talk Gaming every week, because you don't have to sit through it and be heartbroken. I will sit through it and be heartbroken and then relay my sad feelings to you via the internet.
Thank God. Because
All
I can't handle my sad feelings. I'm thankful that you're the one sifting through them.
All I know is that we better get a release date for Redfall. You know, that game was supposed to come out the end of last year. That's the game that's kind of like Left 4 Dead, but it's about vampires. I've been very excited for that. It's done by Arcane, the people who did Dishonored and the game that came out last year, Deathloop.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see.
Deathloop had a really good reception, so
Yeah. Hopefully we get, like I said, hopefully we get some concrete release dates and it's not just a bunch of, hey, there's some gameplay, because that's not what people want. And I don't want people to be angry on the internet. There's already enough of that. You know what I mean?
Speaking of announcements and releases, I want to invite everybody watching and maybe watching later today. We are going to be doing a fantasy draft, a fantasy critic draft on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so go ahead and create your developer now. If you don't know which games you want to draft, or you can't be there at 1 p.m., just set your developer to auto draft. This is completely for fun. The goal is this: we're gonna draft 5. Hold on, let me remember what I set the rules to. We're gonna draft 5 titles on draft day, and then throughout the year, we're gonna have a total of 12 titles in our developer team. Your goal is to draft a title before anybody else can that you think is going to do really well on opencritic.com. So OpenCritic is a little basically, if you have a publication of any kind, you can rate on OpenCritic. Your goal is to get anything over a 70. Anything over a 70 will get you points. So let's say you draft a game and it comes out and it gets an 82 on OpenCritic. You get 12 points for that game. And the person with the most points at the end of the year wins. And Courtney had a brilliant idea. What does the winner get of this fantasy draft, Courtney?
Well, the winner of this fantasy draft is going to get a 3D printed, like, you know how the Super Bowl players get that awesome championship ring? Well, we are going to 3D print a Talk Gaming or Talk Limited championship ring that you're going to be able to rock and say that you had the best team of titles. So yeah, we're gonna have that.
I thought you were gonna.
Well, I didn't come up with this suggestion. There's going to be a trophy. It's going to be phallic in nature, and it's going to have John's head at the tip.
That was not my idea either. Don't look at me. That wasn't my idea either.
Whose idea was that? Because that wasn't my idea, and there's only
Sue's.
2 of you.
It was Sue's idea.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe we also give a game away to the winner. Maybe I throw a game in there.
Well, then you better hope to win, because you're going against all the Talk Gaming. So let's just say if a Talk Gaming, or excuse me, if a Talk Limited host wins, the whichever the runner up will get the game code. How about that?
Nobody part of Talk is going to get
the game.
A free game or a Jon Penis statue. But yeah,
or a ring. Yeah.
I'm super excited about this. If it wasn't clear, this is like fantasy football, but for games.
Yes.
You're just picking games that you think are going to do well this year, trying to score points. And then, like, as John said, we're going to have a winner. We'll figure out a winner at the end of the year. So this Sunday at 1 p.m., tune in with us, draft some games.
Yes.
Or as
Create
John
your
said,
account now, though. Create your account now.
You have to do it now.
Yeah.
Create your developer now, and we'll see you on Sunday. We'll be in the Discord. The Discord link is in the description, and we're gonna be in a voice chat all together doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Late Shift Studios taking it. Let's do it. Get in there. Create that account.
It's free. It's fun. It's turns me on a little bit. Please create that account.
Perfect.
And now for some bad news.
Aww.
We're going to pivot to Microsoft is laying off about 10,000 employees, including some that are part of the Bethesda and Halo Infinite teams. So I have a quick Polygon article here. 10,000 employees are losing their jobs. Microsoft announced Wednesday that it will be cutting 10,000 jobs over the next 2 months, slashing about 5% of its overall workforce. CEO Satya Nadella did not detail precisely where those cuts would take place at the company, but noted in a letter to employees that there would be, quote, changes to our hardware portfolio, end quote, which could impact Microsoft's HoloLens, Surface, and PC accessory businesses.
You know what really bums me out about this story?
What?
Is they're talking about spending so much money to obtain Activision Blizzard, and then they talk about laying off 10,000 people. Like, that really bothers me.
You're getting ahead of me in the story, but yeah, we'll go ahead and just go there. Yeah, it never sits well with me when these companies do this kind of shit. And you got to imagine that, no, I don't even know. Like, it just fucking sucks. There's no two ways about it. And that's what all companies always do. They always go, we can't afford to do this. We can't afford to do that. We can't afford to give you a living wage or basic human decency. But then we're going to turn around and we're going to spend $69 billion on a video game company.
Yep, that's why they can't afford it, because they spent it there.
Sorry, guys. We already spent all the money we were going to give you for promotions and raises and bonuses.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But here's the thing. There's an active group of corporations that are trying to stop the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So the money isn't even spent yet. So there's already anticipation that it may or may not happen. And whether or not it happens, they're still laying off these 10,000 people. And Xbox has already said that they still plan on spending the $69 billion regardless of having to lay off all these people. So that's not their employees are definitely not making that much of an impact on their decisions, right? They're gonna go through with it regardless. Or in fact, they were going to fire them regardless, I should say.
They're going to spend more than $69 billion when all is said and done, because they're going to be spending money on legal costs and, you know, who knows what backdoor dealings they're going to be doing to get people to be okay with this $69 million deal. You know what I mean? And what really bums me out about this is Activision has been doing, or not Activision, excuse me, Xbox has been doing all the right things lately. They've been saying all the right things. They just announced that they're going carbon neutral for Xbox, which is great. And then they come around and hit you with this news. And I'm disappointed because I want them to buy Activision Blizzard. I'm going to be honest. I want them to buy it. I want them to turn that company around. And yeah, it's just such a bummer.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. Give me 1 second, guys. Fill the air.
Hello. If you haven't already, consider liking this stream. And if you're watching on a later date, like, comment, and subscribe. How'd I do?
You did great, John. Thank you for that. Are you ready for some more bad news?
No.
I'm sorry. I don't make the news. I just read it.
Yeah.
You know,
How dare you?
I'm the filter for all your disappointment. So Ubisoft last week, they canceled 3 unannounced games and then said some dumb shit. You want to hear about it?
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
All right, this is from IGN.com. Ubisoft cancels 3
The end of the
unannounced games
17th
and
century,
delays Skull and Bones
when
for the
ruthless
6th
corporations ruled the
time.
seas with an
6th
iron fist.
time.
I guess we're not sailing the high seas.
They ignited a battle for global supremacy to dominate the world's most valuable trade routes.
That was the whole cornerstone of
A
talk.
flood of exotic goods from the
Now we gotta
Indian
figure
Ocean
something else out.
stormed the West,
It's disappointing.
creating
the company
new
announces a new
addictions
strategy amid
and a
financial
violent
trouble
race
and
for control.
performance. Ubisoft
But where
has
there's
announced
blood,
that it has,
there
for
are
the 6th
predators.
time, delayed Skull and Bones, as well as canceled 3 more unannounced games. amid,
Labeled as
quote,
enemies of
major
all
challenges in
mankind.
the industry. The
This new
underperformance
breed
of
of
Mario
pirates
plus Rabbids
will
sparks
show
hope
no
and Just Dance
mercy.
2023 and an upcoming, quote, restructuring. In a press release today, Ubisoft
Sailing through
outlined
dangerous waters,
Hope?
they created
What was that?
secret
They're
trading
blaming this on
networks
Sparks of Hope?
and built their
Yeah, they
pirate
said it didn't do
empires.
as well as the first one.
But they
Just
were
Dance
always on the
2023.
edge of losing
Imagine
it all.
a game they've been doing for years.
And sinking to
not
the depths.
I can tell you
Skull
why.
and Bones.
Because they did away with the physical copies and everything is a little paper insert. And the people who are buying this don't understand what the paper inserts are for. So they're like, no, I'll just get the previous one that comes with a physical copy.
Yeah, it's It's annoying.
That was like
I can
I knew it was
also
gonna happen.
guarantee that by any other standards other than the metrics they're using, both those games did insanely well.
Yeah, they
Because Just
probably will.
Dance 2023 is always one of the best-selling games of the year. But yeah, continuing. In a press release today, Ubisoft outlined a new strategy for the remainder of its fiscal year, as well as lowered expectations for its last fiscal quarter. Ubisoft explains the move as a result of the company, quote, facing major challenges as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and long-lasting titles that can reach players across the globe, across platforms and business models. Skipping down a bit. No, I can't find the quote. Anyway, we'll end it there. What this sucks, but Ubisoft kind of sucks, and I think they dug their own grave with this one.
Damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was dealing with spam in the chat.
Yeah. I was actually deleting it as well. I'm actually kind of bummed because I was hoping to get into the Skull and Bones. I was actually excited to try Skull and Bones. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually looking forward to it. So now I'm actually kind of bummed about that. But I think it's kind of silly to try to blame it on these other games not performing as well. It just seems, I don't know why it just doesn't sit, that explanation of why they're doing it doesn't sit well with me.
Because it's not a real explanation. Like I said, I bet if you measured these games against most other games, they would have done really. They probably had a great return on investment, especially Just Dance, and they probably did really well. You know, I guarantee that those games both probably sold a couple million copies within the holiday season. Granted, I am just kind of talking out of my ass, but I'm also going based off of what I know from the sales for the first Mario and Rabbids game, and then what I know on Just Dance sales in general. Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous to pin it all on those games.
Yeah. And it's a business ultimately, and I kind of agree with you that I think that they probably set their goals way too high. Mario Rabbids only did as well as it did is because it had constant price drops to like $19 and $15 throughout its entire life cycle. So
yeah, which is wild because Ubisoft games, they all do that.
Mhm.
Immortals Phoenix Rising, Assassin's Creed, they all hit crazy price drops. So it's like, are you doing this because you can, or are you doing this because you need to boast the numbers that say, so we can say, hey, we sold X amount, X million copies of this game? Like, if you're not making money off these games, don't drop them to $20 or $15 all the time.
No,
Like
Skull and
Mario
Bones,
and Rabbids is on sale every other week, dude.
Skull and Bones is not canceled; it's delayed. Can you repeat?
It's delayed.
I put the I put the trailer on and it played and it was I had the sound on and I didn't mean to. Can you repeat the canceled games?
The canceled games are 3 unannounced games, so we don't know what they are.
Perfect. All right. That's the whole story. And then Skull and Bones was delayed again.
It was delayed indefinitely. Bouncing off that, though,
Delayed indefinitely pretty much means canceled.
no, there's rumors
like
there's rumors going around that there's going to be a new release date announced soon, but my guess would probably be the end of the year or early next year, which is fine. I'm fine with them delaying the game if they think that what they have now is not a good product to put out. I would rather them delay it and make it a better product. Even if it is getting a little bit on the ridiculous side from the time it was announced, I think it's been like 5 or 6 years since it was announced, and it's been delayed 6 times. But I would rather them delay it and make a better game than release, something crappy.
Yeah, it's like Benjamin Franklin said, a delayed game is eventually a good game.
Yeah, I remember that good Benjamin Franklin quote.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bouncing off of that as well, the CEO of Ubisoft has apologized to employees over a bad comment he made last week. So Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot held a company-wide Q&A to address the publisher's future. After canceling 3 unannounced games and delaying the release of Skull and Bones for a 6th time, Guillemot told employees, quote, "The ball is in your court to help get the $3 billion company back on track."
I mean, is he wrong?
Then he's putting the blame on the employees when that's almost never the case.
No, I don't think he's putting the blame. I think he's saying, I trust you to put. I don't fucking know.
That's what he's saying. So he came out today and he said, quote, "I heard your feedback and I'm so sorry that it was perceived this way. When saying the ball's in your court to deliver our lineup on time and at the expected level of quality, I wanted to convey the idea that more than ever, I need your talent and energy to make it happen. This is a collective journey that starts with of course myself and the leadership team to create great conditions for all of us to succeed together." So he kind of put his foot in his mouth, and then
he should have said,
like,
"My ass is on the line," is what he should have said.
Yeah, exactly.
I need your help.
Should have just said, "Help me."
Yeah.
I never thought I'd have Jon over here defending the CEO of Ubisoft, fucking corporate shill Jon B over here.
No, I think it's because I kind of understood what he meant, but like, yeah, no, that he worded it really poorly, and I understand why the workers were like, what the fuck? Yeah, I get it.
If I'm being completely honest, I think Ubisoft needs a change in their CEO. I think he did a good job of fending off their Vivendi acquisition about a decade ago, but I don't think that he has a clear vision for what the company needs to do now that the landscape of gaming has changed. I'm also just an idiot, so I could be completely wrong.
Sure, but Vivendi, I mean, when I saw a title that had the Vivendi software logo on it, I kind of looked forward to it. I can't think of anything negative of Vivendi looking back in the nostalgia of it. Like, would that have been a bad acquisition?
Well, it was
because this guy.
I don't know
sucks.
too much about it other than it was trying to be a hostile takeover. Like they were just trying to take over Ubisoft and probably put them out of business and salvage what they could from it.
Got it.
And I'm glad that Ubisoft survived, but I think that Guillemot has done a bad job of keeping up with what. He's got his finger on the pulse, but the pulse is, a decade late.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Let's move on to happier news. And right in the title, we said the DICE Awards nominees were announced. So are you guys ready to go over some of these awards?
Let's do it.
I'm
and
ready.
Nominees.
Let's
go.
It.
So I'm pulling this list from IGN.com. Let's start here with a little bit of exposition. The Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences has announced its nominees for the 26th annual DICE Awards, with Santa Monica Studios' God of War Ragnarok leading the pack with 12 nominations. The annual video game award recognizes the best games of the year, and they're chosen by the members of the AIAS, and the winners are chosen in an annual award show hosted in Las Vegas. So basically, if you didn't know, this is the developer award show. So this is
the Academy.
The Academy is choosing. So we're gonna go down the list. We'll talk about some of these, and we'll see we'll get your guys' predictions.
And also, this year's awards will be co-hosted by Kind of Funny's Greg Miller.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Greg Miller, and then IGN's own Stella Chung.
And Stella Chung. Yeah,
great for them. This is like Greg's 40th time doing this.
Yeah, it is.
He's been doing it longer than the awards show has been around. But God bless his heart.
Yeah.
So all right, who wants to go to Vegas in February?
Yeah, who wants to crash it?
Absolutely, I do. If I had money and time, I'd be there. Trust me.
Big same.
All right. So first category: outstanding achievement in animation. Cuphead, The Delicious Last Chorus, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Moss Book 2. Any predictions which game takes this category?
In animation? Elden Ring.
I think so. I would say Elden Ring, but Ragnarok though?
Cuphead though? These are all great.
Yeah.
Cuphead is a hand-drawn game. You don't see that anymore.
And there's claymation in the DLC.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I really don't know which way this could go.
Me neither.
Because they're all really great.
Well, I think with that fact, I think a lot of people are going to look at Cuphead and be like, that's a good fucking animation.
Yeah. Although I will say Horizon Forbidden West is the most beautiful game I've played thus far this generation. It's just the facial animation is just incredible in that game.
The landscaping, all of it.
Yeah, the humans look real. I couldn't even tell. I thought I was there.
Anyone play Moss?
No, it's a VR game, and I don't have a VR system.
And I'm poor.
All right.
All right, next one. Outstanding achievement in art direction: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and the Callisto Protocol.
Stray for the win, baby.
Oh my god. I shouldn't have even said it. I should have just pretended it wasn't on the list.
No, I think Christian, I think you'll agree with me on this one. This one should definitely go to Stray.
I hate you. I thought you were gonna be serious. I thought you had like a legitimate argument for the game. I knew you were gonna say Stray, but I thought you were gonna be like, "Oh, couldn't you see it here?" I don't know which one this is going to. I think probably God of War Ragnarok because it does have so much art and
so much art.
And so much art. And it's got so much
art.
direction. They were arting and directing all over the place.
And they achieved it. It was great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too close to call in a lot of these categories.
Too close to call.
Move on to the next one.
Runoff elections for all of them.
John would vote for Donkey Kong Country if he could.
Yeah, I would.
He's gonna write it in. What do you mean? He's gonna put it in the write-in ballot.
All right. Outstanding achievement in character: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Alejandro Vargas, God of War Atreus, God of War Kratos, Horizon Aloy, and then Return to Monkey Island, Guybrush Threepwood.
That one.
Now
that one.
Bush.
Guybrush, not Guy's Bush.
Guybrush 3-inch wood. That guy.
I can't take you guys anywhere. I was hoping to have a legitimate, serious conversation about some of the best characters that we've ever gotten in gaming and how they came out this year. And you're just making dick jokes.
Well, I hate Aloy.
Maybe you should have read it right.
I don't know who Atreus is. Kratos is
Atreus? Atreus?
Yeah. Kratos. If Kratos wins, the whole
Can you
night is
imagine
gonna
how
be an
long that
acceptance
thank
speech.
you speech?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed here because I just finished a game called A Plague Tale Requiem, and in that game, you play as a character named Amicia de Bruyne, and she is voiced and acted by an actress named Charlotte McBurney. And I gotta tell you, the fact that she's not getting more recognition for that performance is extremely disappointing. She did fantastic. I was really blown away, especially towards the end of that game with her performance and the emotion that she put into it. It reminded me very much of one of my other favorite games, which has a great performance, which is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I'm just disappointed. She got a nod for performance at the Game Awards, but nothing here is pretty disappointing.
So, so you don't really have a dog in this fight then? It's just whoever wins.
Kratos is going to win.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing. I got to be honest though, after finishing God of War Ragnarok, Kratos and Atreus both go through a lot of really good character development, but I think, well, I guess if you're talking about character, then yeah. But there's some really great character development and some great performances in some of the other characters in God of War, and I'm a little bummed that they aren't getting the spotlight when we're looking at these awards. It's everybody in God of War Ragnarok's performance and the way that the characters were written was just fantastic. So I know you can't have an entire category of just God of War nominees, but that would be. It would be, for me, it would be all of God of War and then Amicia de Bruyne from A Plague Tale.
Original music composition: A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Metal Hellsinger, Moss Book 2. Outstanding achievement in audio design: A Plague Tale Requiem, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok, Gotham Knights, and Somerville. So you're seeing A Plague Tale pop up, but not for the categories you were hoping for.
Yeah, and A Plague Tale has great music, but I don't know if it's got good enough music to beat God of War or Horizon.
Yeah,
like it's a tall order, and I think that in some of the other places like character or story that we're gonna read here, it might have a shot. So outstanding achievement in story: Elden Ring, which. Okay, God of War Ragnarok, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, Immortality, and Norco.
No idea.
I
hate,
think
Norco.
Immortality takes this one.
Terrible city.
Your boy Nitro saying Metal Hellsinger, not even a question for music.
Nice. I mean, it has the word metal in the title.
And this is developer voted, so there that very well could be. You know,
Yeah.
I like this award show because it's being voted on by the people who know what they're talking about, and not just us idiots out here in internet land going, "I don't like Stray." Outstanding technical achievement: A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Teardown. Teardown's out of left field there.
Yeah.
Action Game of the Year: Bayonetta 3, Grounded, Neon White, Sifu, and Vampire Survivors. I swear to God,
I think you want
Sifu doesn't win this fucking category.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a fit.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm surprised that Grounded is in here. I feel like that's more of an adventure game than an action game. Grounded it's a survival game.
I guess there's action in surviving.
I guess.
I want a passive survival game where you have to sit on the couch and you have to get up the most motivation to make yourself a hot pocket.
It's called My Life.
My Life, the game. Have you seen? There's a game coming out. It's called like, oh my God, what's it called? It's like Depressed Man, where you like have to control different limbs of this guy who's like really sad.
Oh, no.
I forget what it's called. If I can remember it, I'll tweet it from the Talk account. But we got to play that when it comes out.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh my gosh.
Adventure Game of the Year: God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Norco, Stray, and Tunic.
Stray.
It's gonna be Stray.
Stop, guys. Stop.
Tell me why it's not gonna be Stray.
Because God of War: Ragnarok is nominated.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Here we go. Family Game of the Year: Disney Dreamlight Valley, Kirby's Dream Buffet, Lost in Play, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, or Trombone Champ.
Trombone Champ.
Remember that? Yeah, and then you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The meme.
We had a good time playing Trombone
You
Champ,
did
didn't
so
we?
good. You did so good on Trombone Champ, John. I was actually impressed.
Is there more songs?
Yeah, they've added more songs, and there's also a modding community. I haven't looked into it yet.
No.
I think you have to unlock them then, because I went through it recently and I was like, there's got to be more songs. It's all the same songs.
Yeah,
you probably have to do good enough on the ones you have there to unlock them.
That's awful.
Yeah, like I said, I know there's a huge modding community because I saw someone a while back post the Black Parade, but on Trombone Champ.
I actually want Kirby's Dream Buffet to
For Family Game of the Year?
Yeah, that was actually really cute, and I enjoyed it.
Surprised that Kirby's oh my God, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is not on here.
Yeah, I don't understand. The heck?
Which is disappointing. But Kirby's Dream Buffet is also a good choice. I think we had a really good time with that.
We did. Fighting Game of the Year. Go ahead.
Fighting Game of the Year: JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, Multiverses, Rumbleverse, Spider Heck, and King of Fighters 15.
What's Spider Heck?
Spider Heck.
What the heck?
It is a game where spiders have lightsabers.
Oh.
What?
It's a 2D fighting game. It's on Game Pass if you want to check it out. I just downloaded it the other night. I haven't played it yet.
I don't. Is it good? Oh, you haven't played it. Okay.
No, I haven't played it. It's great. It's great.
Racing Game of the Year.
The 3 games that came out: F1 22, Gran Turismo 7, and Need for Speed Unbound. It's going to be Gran Turismo 7.
Really?
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
It's not going to be Need for Speed.
Oh.
It's going to be Gran Turismo.
I think people liked Need for Speed, but it's going to be Gran Turismo 7.
Oh, it should be Cruisin'
USA.
Blast.
Cruisin' Blast.
Yeah.
Except that was last year, John.
Fuck.
That game is so good. We better get a sequel to that or some DLC or something.
Wait, all these games were last year.
Shut the fuck up. It's 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I hate you.
Role-playing Game of the Year.
Go ahead, John.
Citizen Sleeper, Elden Ring, Weird West, World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Well, I want World of Warcraft to win.
So do I.
It's
Dragonflight.
It's a lot of fun. Go play. Everyone go play Dragonflight.
Have you guys played Dragonflight?
Yeah, we're playing the
Yes.
shit out of Dragonflight.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you do
awesome.
in it? Do you fly dragons?
You are the dragon.
What?
So they're like these dragonkin. What the fuck are they called?
Evoker.
No, that's the class.
Oh.
There's like
the Drakthir.
Drakthir. So you're a humanoid dragon but it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's still World of Warcraft, so you're doing quests and stuff, but yes,
But yes, you also get to ride dragons.
But yes, you get a dragon as your mount, and it's like the most fun way to fly in a World of Warcraft game ever. Used to be like you'd get on your flying mount and it would just kind of like fly for you, but this one has like it has a vigor meter, and you need to make sure that it stays up, and then you're dive bombing to maintain speed, and you're swooping up, and you're doing barrel rolls, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, or if you're like me, you just crash into mountains and trees that just somehow fucking pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I've been doing a really bad job of reading the chat, and I just wanted to call out some of the nominations that everyone's voting for here.
Yeah.
Ronnie says it should be Narcos or Tunic for Adventure Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there with Tunic, to be honest. I think Tunic needs more wins because Tunic was a very impressive game with an incredible mechanic behind it. And then your boy Nitro said Tunic or Ragnarok. And also is right there with you guys for World of Warcraft because Final Fantasy 14 isn't on the list.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people are probably pulling for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 also. Just not me.
It's a tough category. Like, you have something like Elden Ring in there, but you also have stuff like World of Warcraft and Xenoblade Chronicles and Citizen Sleeper that I know has their diehard fans for, and that I've heard all of those, now that I've heard it from you guys, all of those games were really good.
What's Weird West?
It's a game about the West, but it's weird.
Nice.
I don't know what it's about.
Nice.
Unfortunately. All right, sports game of the year: FIFA 23, Mario Strikers Battle League, MLB The Show 22, NBA 2K23, or Ollie Ollie World. I just hope Ollie Ollie World takes this one because those other games are a joke.
I've
Moving
never
on.
played Ollie Ollie World. Have you?
I started it. I can't get into it, but I recognize that it is a good game. I'm just bad at it.
Is it like what? Does everybody in the world have to say Ollie Ollie?
Yes, I'll say that they do just for you.
Ollie Ollie. It's just a world.
That's also now how you have to sign on and off of Talk Gaming.
What's
Ollie
up?
Ollie.
Oh, Ollie Ollie, everybody.
I've only played one game out of this list of the sports games. I've played MLB The Show 22.
Yeah,
and it's an MLB The Show game. So I'm only gonna vote for that one just because it's the only one I've played.
Yeah.
Did you play it for free on Xbox Game Pass?
Well, I played it because my son has it on his Xbox, and he's really into it and was playing it, and he was like, "Mom, I challenge you to a home run derby on this game." And okay, to be fair, this little shit didn't tell me what buttons do what. Didn't even prep me. He just let me go in blind. And you know what? Sucks to suck, kid, because you know what? Mom's a gamer, so I picked it up, and then he got butt hurt when I smoked his ass because it took me a little bit to learn the controls, but as soon as I got it down, I was just fucking like, he was over
decimated,
there picking the pitches and doing all this stuff, and then I just fucking smoked him, and he was pissed.
Take that, child.
Yeah.
Don't ever mess with your parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm voting for FIFA 23, but specifically Legacy Edition for the Switch.
Yeah, so FIFA, what is that? FIFA 17? Something like that?
Yeah.
All right, strategy sim /sim game of the year: Dwarf Fortress, Excion,
That's it.
Marvel's Midnight Suns, Potion Craft, Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer 40K Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. That's too long of a name.
Why is it? Why is chaos spelled like that?
I think that's just a typo.
Okay.
IGN's an amateur website.
Yeah, they are.
You know, they're not like us where we have perfect grammar all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any of these games, so
yeah. We'll skip down to outstanding achievement for an independent game. We got Immortality, Neon White, John, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Tunic and Vampire Survivors, and I think unfortunately TMNT is going to get the shaft once again. Because
Aw.
these are some heavy hitters.
Everybody likes Neon White, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was. Here's what I'll say about Neon White. Fantastic gameplay, really well fine-tuned gameplay loop. Kind of garbage everything else. You're put in a visual novel story that is very poorly written and very anime-esque and voice acted, but not in a good way, other than the main character. And that's not to say that the voice actors are bad. They're just given garbage dialogue to work with. I did not like that part of it. I really enjoyed the actual gameplay and what you're doing. But I know a lot of people liked it as a whole, and those people were wrong.
I want to say, and I know I'm skipping ahead, but I want to say this in honor of you and turning everybody on to this game. Shout out to Marvel Snap.
Hey.
Nominated for Online Game of the Year and Outstanding Achievement in Game Design.
Mobile Game of the Year,
and
baby.
Mobile Game of the Year. Holy shit.
I hope they take it.
I do too.
Yeah. I hope they run across the board, and then because when they win awards, they give you free stuff in game, and I want more free stuff.
I'm actually bummed because I guess there was updates. So when I went to actually go play it the other day while I was waiting for a table for lunch, it logged me out, and I didn't remember which account I logged into. So all of my decks are gone, and I don't know what to do.
If you go to the Discord, Marvel Snap Discord channel, you can get help with that. Just FYI.
Just log out and then try the account you didn't try.
Well, I just started. I don't know what I did, but it just basically started me from scratch again, and I was like, no, I lost all my stuff. So I'll just look through my. I'll be smart and I'll look through my email and look for an email from Marvel Snap when I had to verify the email account.
Yeah,
and that will narrow down what I logged in with. But yes, regardless, I hope Marvel Snap. Sweet.
Well, Courtney, I've seen your unread email number on your phone, so good luck.
Yeah.
That's what the search is for. Okay, so fuck off.
It doesn't work if you have 9,000 spam emails. All right, quickly getting through the rest of these. Mobile Game of the Year, Diablo Immortal, Gibbon Beyond the Trees, Immortality, Marvel Snap, and Poinpy. Online Game of the Year.
What the hell is Gibbon Beyond the Trees?
You're a monkey.
You're a monkey. It's a game about environmentalism, so for the hippies.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's not even on.
He's looking it up.
Oh wait.
Are you looking at it? It was on Switch first. It came out on Switch last year.
It's not even on Android.
Well, Android's not a real platform,
sucks
so
to suck.
get a real phone, John.
Should have stuck with the iPhone, John.
Your boy Nitro says, how the hell did Diablo Immortal get nominated? That's not a game. That's legal mugging. Yeah, but apparently a lot of people liked getting mugged illegally. That's all I'll say about that.
Is it not good?
I don't know. I don't know if it was a good game or not, if I'm being honest. Because I didn't play it, but it just had too much negative press around it.
This is the Gibbon game. It looks cute.
I want it.
It's on my wish list on Nintendo Switch.
Nice. Well, I downloaded Getting Over It.
Oh shit. We got some spam in the chat.
More?
Again? Gosh.
Yep. Online, while you're taking care of that, I'll go through more. Online Game of the Year, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, FIFA 23. Here you go, your boy Nitro. Final Fantasy 14, Endwalker, Marvel Snap, and Rumbleverse. Ooh, that's a tight category, baby.
Tight.
I think it's going to be Endwalker, though. Outstanding Achievement in Game Design, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Marvel Snap, Tunic, Vampire Survivors. I honestly think Tunic might take that category.
But we want Marvel Snap to win.
Yeah.
But we do want Marvel Snap to win. I'd be happy with any of these except Elden Ring. Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Tunic. That is a packed category.
Mm-hmm.
I would give every single one of those games awards for game direction if I could. And then Game of the Year. Here we go, the big one. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Vampire Survivors.
Stray, baby.
Stray's nominated in like one other category, and then it comes up in Game of the fucking Year.
I think it's nominated in 2 other categories, but yes, I understand your pain.
Do you see how many times God of War and Elden Ring are nominated, and Horizon Forbidden West, and even Vampire Survivors? Those are real games of the year. Stray, God, look.
I mean, obviously, if it's nominated, Christian, maybe it's just you.
Yeah,
it's not
maybe it's
me. I am correct. I'm gonna stand my ground on this. I know I stand my ground on most things that I have dumb opinions on. But I legitimately look, Stray's not a bad game, and I hate on it a lot, and I know that makes it seem like I think it's a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's just not a great game, and it's not a game of the year contender. If you wanted to put it in indie game of the year, that I understand. If you wanted to put it in family game of the year, that I understand. If you wanted to put it in achievement for technical achievement, that I would understand because they animated a cat pretty well. But not game of the year. It's not game of the year quality. There's nothing game of the year about it. It's the most benign 6 hours, if that. No, I think it was more like 4 hours that I got through it in. 6 out of 10 game I've ever played in my life.
Game of the year.
Tell us how you really feel.
Game of the year.
All right. And that was the 26th annual DICE Awards. Jon.
Yes.
Are we reacting to the 26th annual DICE Awards when they air on February 23rd, 2023? Give me a maybe.
Maybe.
All right.
What,
Stay tuned, everybody, for that.
What day does that fall on?
A Thursday.
It falls a Thursday. Maybe I interrupt one of your other shows for something more important, and maybe you see me lose my mind when Stray wins Game of the Year.
No, I mean,
maybe we just do a follow-up. Maybe we do Talk Gaming Wednesday in preparation for it, and then Thursday we'll actually watch it together and live react to it.
Yeah. What
Drop-
time?
It doesn't say yet.
I hope it's in the evening.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is in the evening.
Okay, good.
So we'll see. As that gets closer, stay tuned, everybody. Drop a
D in the chat for DICE.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, drop a big old D in the chat if you're if you want us to live react to the Game Awards, or excuse me, the DICE Awards, and if you'll be there with us.
Woo!
All right, we're gonna move on to the next story. Jon, are we cutting it off at 8:30?
Yeah, whenever. Yeah, we're cutting it off as soon as we're done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we got another story here. John Carpenter hints at an upcoming Dead Space film, but he's not involved.
What?
Okay.
This is from IGN. Horror legend John Carpenter really, really loves Dead Space. The director of The Thing, Halloween, and Escape from New York has talked extensively about it in the past. Oh no, what just happened?
Did you accept our cookies?
I got a fucking like spam ad. It just like took over my page. I'm sorry, everybody. McAfee was just like, we're a virus. Check this out. Anyway, and it amidst his love of the series, it did it again, dude. What the fuck is happening? Oh my god.
You want me to read it for you?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Carpenter may have just inadvertently teased a film adaptation before it was ever officially released.
Does it?
Thank you.
Bro.
In an interview with Variety, the publication nudged Carpenter on his past remarks about wanting to make a Dead Space film. In response, Carpenter backpedaled pretty significantly on the idea he might be involved, but at the end let it slip that, quote, another director was involved, implying that such a thing exists in the first place. Quote, I'm a big video game fan, so I played all the Dead Space games, Carpenter said. I was down looking at the new digital cameras, the Red, and happened to mention to them that I would love to do a Dead Space film. They went around and everybody said, oh, when are you going to do it? I'm not going to do it. I think they already have another director involved, and they haven't asked me to do it. So until someone asked me, I wouldn't do it. But there's a new version of the Dead Space game coming out in January, and I'm there. Would you guys watch a Dead Space movie?
Absolutely not.
Is Dead? I know you guys don't know the story, but is Dead Space something that you think would be better as a movie or a series?
I'm gonna say series. because I am standing my ground that majority of these games that have so many titles need to be put into a series. That way you get the most bang for your buck. You're not being rushed through. You're not forced. So you're not trying to condense story, plot, all of this writing into 2 hours.
I'm gonna say I have no idea because I don't know the story. Like I think I'm trying to think. Like the reason why I think The Last of Us is really good as a story is because of how many characters are involved and how much we really need to like learn about them and we need to enjoy their presence. Or to, you know what I'm trying to say. But like if I think of BioShock, for example, BioShock is getting a TV show, right?
Getting a movie. No, a Netflix adaptation.
A Netflix adaptation. Does that mean Netflix movie or Netflix series?
I think I don't know. We could just Google it. We have this thing called the internet.
Well, the reason why I ask is because like if I look at a game like the first BioShock, I feel like that would serve better as a movie because we do learn about these characters, but the resolution of that game doesn't really lead us to go, okay, well, what happened to all these characters? There's resolution to those characters, and I feel like that resolution can happen within a movie. And then a sequel would be the continuation of the story and the continuation of the BioShock series. With Dead Space, I have no idea because I don't know their characters well enough, but maybe a movie would serve perfectly fine. Resident Evil is a good example of why of another one that I think would be a series because there's so many characters, and they tried with the movie and it was just so.
It was too much.
Yeah.
Too much to put in one movie.
Yeah.
I will say for Dead Space, you are mostly just playing as Isaac. There's not a lot of other characters.
You're kind of alone.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that being an interesting series. I could see them bringing in more context, having some flashbacks, bringing, because you do get audio logs and stuff of other characters.
Sure.
I could see it being an interesting series, but I think that the movie makes a little bit more sense, but that also worries me because I don't think most horror movies are good. And you're trying to make a horror video game adaptation, like it's just not looking good, you know what I mean? And I would want that to be good because Dead Space does much like Resident Evil, I think lends itself really well to being adapted into another medium like a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
But I just see them fucking it up.
We'll see what happens.
We will. Moving on to the next story, MPD reveals the best-selling games of the year and the best-selling games of December. So I got this from Video Games Chronicle. We'll just scroll quickly down onto the list. So these are the best-selling games of the year 2022. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. 2 is Elden Ring. 3 is Madden 23. 4 is God of War Ragnarok. 5 is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. 6 is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. 7 is FIFA 23. 8 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. 9 is Horizon Forbidden West. And 10 is MLB The Show 2022. Are any of those surprises for you guys?
Yeah, a good majority of this list.
Like what?
Well, I mean, I guess the fact that Call of Duty is still a best-selling game is, I guess, shocking to me.
Considering how poorly it was received this time around.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, I used to play Call of Duty pretty religiously with my group of friends and stuff. I didn't even bother. I haven't bothered with Call of Duty in the last 3 years now. So that surprised me. The fact that Madden, NFL 23 is on here, FIFA, MLB, it's not anything new. They're not adding any changes in type of gameplay to these games. Well, it's literally just a copy paste and just adding the new players from each team in the roster.
Unfortunately, sports games always trend every year though. That's why they do it, because they know that they're going to make the most money out of them. And sports games always make really good presents because, my boyfriend has an Xbox and he likes football. I'll buy him Madden. I don't know if he, it's one of those types of things.
Boyfriend's an idiot.
Yeah. And it just always, those cyclical game releases, the sports ones specifically, always end up on these lists. So I don't know if that's so much surprising as it is disappointing. I think it's more disappointing than anything. But
yeah,
I think as far, because this is all of 2022.
Yeah,
I would say the most surprising thing is that both Nintendo exclusive titles were Pokemon games.
Yeah.
and one of them came out in January.
Yes.
So the fact that it still managed to outsell Horizon and MLB The Show is pretty incredible. And then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they didn't even include the digital sales in that one because Nintendo doesn't provide those numbers.
True.
But they had a month to make the best-selling game list.
And they
A
did
month. Well, what was it? They sold 10 million copies in 3 days or something like that?
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
It was
They broke
insane.
records, right?
Yeah, they
That's nuts.
they sold more copies than most games in 3 days than most games dream of selling in their entire life. Which is just fucking gnarly. But that also means crazy things for things like Lego Star Wars and God of War.
Yeah.
You know, if Pokemon Scarlet and Violet already sold 10 million copies and Lego Star Wars and God of War sold more than that for the year, then that's great for those games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
That's
just to take a
fantastic.
look at December's 2022 numbers, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is just for December. God of War Ragnarok, Madden NFL 23, FIFA 23, Sonic Frontiers. Holding on, look at that.
Let's go, baby!
Elden Ring, Need for Speed Unbound, Mario Kart 8. Not surprising. It's Christmas. Not surprising. And Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7 Reunion.
I'm surprised by that Final Fantasy on there, honestly. I didn't think that game was selling well. I've heard nobody talk about it.
Everywhere I go, if I ask like, hey, what are you playing? Crisis Core is typically on there. And I'm like, what? And then they tell me it's Final Fantasy. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought it was a mech game. Every time they say Crisis Core, I'm like, you're playing that mech game? And they're like, it's Final Fantasy. I'm like, okay.
John,
Sorry.
we've told you 900 times it's Final Fantasy.
With mechs.
That's what happens when you put Crisis Core in front of your Final Fantasy.
It
It should be Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion.
Yeah.
There you go.
God.
I think we did it. That's the news tonight. What do you think?
Hey.
I would say, yeah, that is the news. We did it, everybody. That's all the news you needed to know for the entire week. You can log off the internet
And now look again.
and come back next Wednesday for the next news. We'll have all the scoops on the Xbox Bethesda showcase that we mentioned.
We sure
We
will.
did it, gamers.
We did it, gamers. Tune in tomorrow. Courtney and I are going to play a game called Kindergarten. I know nothing about this, but friend of the show, friend of ours, Dylan, messaged me and said, please play this game on stream. And I said, buy it for me and I'll do it. And so he did. He gifted it to me on Steam, a whole $4.99. So I have it. It's on my computer and we're gonna play it tomorrow. That is gonna be our content for tomorrow.
Nice.
Right?
I love it.
We decided
Yep,
that was for
that's
tomorrow. Yeah.
That's what we decided. We're
Okay.
gonna do that tomorrow. Also, don't forget to say thank you to our wonderful Patreon patrons by throwing out their names.
I will not forget, but I do want to remind everybody that if you want to support the show, please do so by checking out our Patreon. Link is in the description. We greatly appreciate that. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Greatly appreciate that too. But yes, if you go to Patreon, you can subscribe for $5 a month. You can actually do it for as low as $1. But $1 gets your name at the end of this show. $5 gets you our exclusive post show, which we are recording next. Tune in. We're gonna play a little game. We're gonna zoom in real close to video game characters, and each of us are gonna try to guess which video game character it is. We're gonna go through 15 characters in total, all not randomly selected, all selected by the three of us, and we're gonna try to stump each other, and we'll see how that goes. I'm curious who had a pattern and who didn't. But yes, if you are a Patreon supporter, you see your name on the screen now. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for being Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much for being here, for enjoying the show. Courtney, thank you so much for being here. Christian, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody,
Yeah.
for being here. Play games and be better. Have a great night.
Love you. Bye.
Good night, everybody.